want. First of all, the Paramount Plus service itself is garbage. I can't watch SpongeBob, okay? Secondly, Paramount made Halo. That should have instantly been a disqualification. Third, this is where we get into the deeper part of it. Do either of you two know? I think I brought him up before. Do either of you two know who Larry Ellison is?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I do.
He's now
familiar name.
He's now the person that's in charge of TikTok.
Yes.
Okay. He bought Paramount for his son 2 years ago, 3 years ago, and his son is running Paramount. Okay? So, here is the thing that I'm not happy. Well, there's a lot of things that I'm not happy with, but
wait, so his son didn't fuck up Halo then? Halo came out almost 3 years ago, so it must have already been in production before his son took over. Yeah, it had to have been.
Yes.
It had to have been already written and in production before his son took over.
You are right about that.
However, also, Starfleet Academy wasn't. Can we look up his son's background? I want to know if his son has a Twitter account and what his pronouns in his bio are, because I will answer a lot of questions for us. Because they also now own Harry Potter. They also now own the Harry Potter show. They could fire Black Snape immediately and restart it. So I'm just like,
let me just tell you firstly, Larry Ellison works for BlackRock. So we should not be happy about this.
I thought you said, wait, he bought it for his son, or his son now is the CEO?
Okay, so Larry...
Because for Amazon, Jeff Bezos bought the rights to Lord of the Rings for his son, and his son said, don't fuck it up, and look where we're at now.
Larry Ellison purchased Paramount, and he lets his son run it. The point that I'm making is...
So I want to see what his son is. Like, I need to know who his son is and what his Twitter's like, so we can gauge him as a person, because that will answer a lot of questions about where we're going.
Well, all I'll tell you is that they are donors to the RNC. But I can also
okay, well, that doesn't mean anything. There's a lot of people that are donors to the RNC that don't agree with the RNC. It doesn't matter. Well, it just makes sense look good. So the question is, can we find Larry Ellison? Yeah. Like I just want to see. Yeah. Literally, I want to see what his pronouns in bio are first, and then we'll just.
I mean,
do his Twitter a little bit.
I really don't care about his pronouns
in bio, we might be in good shape.
I really don't think so. Only just because of person that Larry Ellison is. Hold on, Larry Ellison's son. Okay. Larry Ellison's son. Okay. David Ellison. Okay. David
I know
Ellison.
That.
Have you heard that name, Roland?
Yeah, that's the name I know. I might not trust this. Hold on, let's see.
Okay.
Just pull on a screen when you get a chance.
I got you. Also, I'm just putting this out there. Okay. Does he have a Twitter? Let's see. Okay.
He likely does.
David Ellison.
Likely has.
He probably does. Considering that he runs Paramount, I would think that
most people do. If you're on the internet space or in the entertainment sphere, most people will have
David Ellison.
He's got an exit.
Do you think he would have? Do you think that he would have a blue check next to his name?
I mean, he can pay for it easily.
I don't think he's here, bro. I doubt it. Here, because let me show you.
That's a good point, Alpha Omega. So, what do you think about it? Because like that would be the first indication. But if he has like no internet, like I feel like I know the name David Ellison. I'm wrong. What
No,
else did he work on anything else, or is he just a CEO all of a sudden?
He works for his father's Oracle company.
Oh,
And
okay.
and he's also very close with the president's son, Don. So he himself has said that he's
you know what? We might be in guys. It might be a good thing Paramount bought it then, because they're nerds. I know Don Jr. is a fucking nerd. So if he's a nerd, like whether or not you like him, Roman, whether or not you like him, what if these guys are playing Magic the Gathering together on the weekends? At least they're fucking nerds. At least they get it. It's the same argument I made about the UFO files, bro. That's what I thought. That's what I fucking thought. So what did he produce? I know I knew the name.
Is he? Let's see. Okay. David Ellison, film producer.
I'm almost positive I've heard Gary talk about this guy before.
Film producer credits. Okay, let's see.
Yeah, he did Top Gun Maverick. That's what he was, producer of Top Gun Maverick. That's what it was. Yes, dude. If he's the fucking head of Paramount now, and he's got control over Lord of the Rings and Harry Potter and all this other shit, fuck yeah. If you did Top Gun Maverick, what do you mean? Were you shaking your head? Did you even see that movie? The movie that stayed in theaters for 2.5 years almost? Because it was that goddamn.
Listen to me.
It did the Star Wars run, bro. It did the original Star Wars run.
But here is the thing, though. It's not just WB, okay? There's also media companies that also come with this. So
that, I believe, is also true, and that's where I get worried, because I know the name from multiple places. Yeah. But having your name on something, again, doesn't necessarily mean you actually did shit with it. Like, Dave Filoni's name's on Andor. He didn't fucking do jack shit. Clearly. But I'm not saying this is a good thing. I still don't think it's a good thing. I don't think it's a good thing that WB's now sold in general. We went over this when they went up for bankrupt, and they went up for being sold in general. And we talked about the fact that this could either be really good or really bad. And I still am there. Hence why I wanted to look into David Ellison more. But
yeah, I
already know a lot of the shit from him.
I'm just not really
Yeah, I was gonna bring that up, but that's like the obvious choice.
I just don't want see, here's my thing. This whole thing is more than just WB, though. Like, this also involves like media companies, like social media companies. Solid. So like, this isn't just a WB thing. Like, there's a whole lot more that, like, goes into this. And so the thing that I'm not a fan of is by the way, Crimson, I don't want to, grammar Nazi you, but it's not TRECK, it's TREK. Just saying. But
what?
He put Star Trek.
Yeah. Yeah. I didn't know what you were talking about for a second. I was like, wait, what?
The thing that bothers me is that now Larry Ellison himself, because he is essentially like the guy, like he hey. Anyway, because Larry Ellison owns Paramount, because of him now essentially owning Warner Brothers. Not only does he have access to that, but he's also going to be in charge of two very big media companies too. And so I don't think, just my own point of view, I don't think that someone who works for BlackRock should be in charge of media companies. That's just my own point of view.
Roman, how many times did I talk about this on Monday Night Mayhem? Everybody works for BlackRock. BlackRock, Lockheed Martin, Boeing. Like, come on, bro. Microsoft. Like, how many times we have to fucking talk about this, dude? They just got another one for them. It's literally like those three companies are just like, no, I want that one, you want this one, and you can get that one. And they're like, okay, cool. And then they just buy them. Like, we already know
that, but we don't have to be okay with it, though. Like, it's something that
is. That's just how it is. It's literally a monopoly without being a monopoly. It's a legal monopoly. Like, because they're all working together. They're all trading inside stocks and shit like that, clearly. So it's like, yeah, where the fuck? Obviously, all the money that went to the Acolyte wasn't there. Or Kenobi. Well, Kenobi, no, the money was there. It should have gotten more. The only one where it's actually visible is Kenobi, because when you look at the $100,000 or whatever it got, it looks like, or 100 million, it looks like shit. When you look at Andor, where it got like the 280 million, it looks good. But then when you look at the Acolyte, which also got 280 million, you're like, the fuck? You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, it's literally money laundering, dude.
Yeah, like, that's kind of...
These companies just do it. They're just like passing it back and forth. Like, it's very clear. By the way, yeah, I do not want to self-delete Minecraft.
I'm just saying, like, and then on the actual content front, I don't.
Oh, those are good. Those are both good shows. Both good shows, or movies. So he just worked with Tom Cruise. All right, bro. Yo, let's get Tom Cruise in something nerdy. Tom Cruise is Batman. That he would do all the stunts. Yo.
He's a little past the brave and the bold age, but he could play like
Roman. I think that's done. I think they're gonna tell James Gunn to fuck off, because everything he's come out with has failed. Superman didn't do good.
Well, technically, it didn't fail.
It did. Look at the box office. Jurassic Park beat it out, dude. Jurassic World. No, dude is short. Yeah, they make him look taller in every movie. You know this. They made the hobbits look short. They can make him look tall.
I mean, here's my thing, bro.
He'd be a funny Batman, but I think he could do it, actually.
Here's my thing, bro. Gunn got one movie. You shouldn't fire him after like one movie.
Gunn got one movie and 2 seasons of a terrible show. And 1 season of a show nobody watched. Do you remember Creature Commandos? See, nobody does. Is anybody out here talking about how good Peacemaker was, Roman? Is anybody out here talking about how good the Suicide Squad was? No. Nobody really is. The only thing James Gunn's done that people are like, that's fucking dope, was Guardians 1, 2, and maybe 3. But most people didn't even go to see 3 because Marvel is in such a shitty place that anything they do, most people don't care. Same thing with Star Wars. I guarantee you the box office for The Mandalorian is going to blow up the first week and then drop the fuck down right after that. That's my prediction. We're going to all go see it because all the reviewers are going to go see it, and all the Disney adults and nerds are all going to go see it, and all the girlfriends of the boyfriends who don't give a shit that want to go see Baby Yoda are going to go see it, and then after that, plummeting.
So not taking stock, because we all know that
Crimson, I'll put your comment up in a second.
Review companies can fudge numbers, but Peacemaker did get an audience score of 92%. Just saying.
Yeah, how many reviewers?
Over 10,000.
Okay.
So,
did you watch it?
So, I watched season 1. I didn't see it.
You didn't watch season 2?
I didn't.
So so if it was so good in season 1, why didn't you watch season 2?
I mean, Peacemaker is just not one of my favorite characters.
He's not one of anybody's favorite characters. You know, like, no, Roman, look at the box office drop off of season 2. Also, are you looking at Rotten Tomatoes when you're looking at the ratings?
Yeah, but
you know the one that has bots all over it, that is known to have bots all over it. You know that, right? You have to look at the Nielsen rating.
What's its Nielsen rating?
And his name is John Cena. I'm sorry for your eardrums. Look up the Nielsen ratings for Peacemaker. Look, you can see the actual drop off. Jingjui. John. Oh, Bing chilling.
Are we looking at like views
it actually
per
shows
week,
the ratings,
or
yes, it shows the ratings per week,
critical?
and it should show the overall ratings of the actual show, which will show you how many people actually watched it, which will also show you how many people actually gave a fuck. Because how many of those reviews on there are the fucking crazy people that are like, the same thing with the Acolyte. Look at the Acolyte's reviews. Do the same exact thing. Go to Rotten Tomatoes. Look where the Acolyte's at. Look how many people reviewed it. The only people reviewing it, Roman, are the people that are obsessed with this shit and have to review it to make it look good. Look at The Last Jedi and the Acolyte's ratings on Rotten Tomatoes compared to Revenge of the Sith. Do that.
Nielsen, it got an 8.4 out of 10.
Look at the Acolyte ratings and the Last Jedi ratings, and then look at Revenge of the Sith, which is known as one of every Star Wars fan's favorite Star Wars movies. Look at the percentages. The Last Jedi and the Acolyte are two things that people hate more than anything in Star Wars. Look at the percentages.
On what? Rotten Tomatoes? Okay.
I think we might have gotten the Acolyte really low, though. So in that case, look at Kenobi, because I think all of the fans actually just bombed the shit out of the Acolyte on purpose.
Good.
Kenobi's at an 82%.
Yep.
The audience score, though, is a 61%.
Okay, now Last Jedi.
All right. Hold on. The Last Jedi is okay, let's see. Hold on. The Last Jedi has an audience score of 41%, but on the tomato meter it's a 91.
Look at Revenge of the Sith.
Okay. All right. So the tomatoes score for Revenge of the Sith is a 79%.
Lower than both. Lower than Kenobi and The Last Jedi. You trust Rotten Tomatoes when it comes to fans' actual reactions?
I did. When I said that, I first said that you can't always trust the, audience review sites. I did say that.
That right there is a perfect example. The two things that most Star Wars fans who have been in it since the OT, if you're a Star Wars fan of the OT and the prequels, usually Revenge of the Sith or Empire is your favorite movie. Usually. I don't know many people that's not their like some people say A New Hope because they're like, that's the best. But You can though. You can though when it comes to the older movies because no one's reviewing them anymore. So Revenge of the Sith is still sitting at a 79. It used to be the highest. It actually used to be at an 82 before The Last Jedi came out. There's videos on this on Star Wars Theory's channel. There's also videos on this on other people's channels. You can actually see that. Now, you'd have to go back quite a few years, but you can see that. So, what I'm saying here is Rotten Tomatoes is never a place to look. What I can tell you is when Peacemaker was coming out, I wasn't seeing very many people saying, wow, this is fucking amazing. This is the best thing ever. I love that they made the American flag have swastikas all over it. Like, nobody was saying that. If you were the vocal minority. Or you're Grace Randolph.
Do you
because you have a thing for John.
Do you trust Nielsen's audience ratings? I'm talking like critical reception.
Nielsen does its best to actually show, like, because these companies won't actually come out with full-on data on the streaming services. They'll tell you, oh, this was the... How many times have you heard that Disney say that this is the biggest Marvel show yet? And it was like The Marvels. Or it was Echo. Does anybody remember Echo? Right. You've blocked She-Hulk out of your mind. Roman and I had a problem remembering Kenobi the one time that my mom put it in chat. We blocked this shit from my mind. So you're literally telling me, like, when these companies come out and they're like, oh, this is the biggest show yet, but they won't do it for Andor. They wouldn't do it for Andor. Right. See, Crimson, exactly. So you can't trust anything these companies say. Rings of Power, same thing. The Witcher, same thing. All these shows for the fans that fans hate, same thing. So any ratings, I don't trust. But what Nielsen does is they try to calculate for how many people are subscribed to said channel that may have watched it, depending on the other things that those people watch.
Do you trust their critical reception audience?
I trust them a lot more than I trust Rotten Tomatoes.
Because Peacemaker's an 8.4 on there.
Look up who owns Rotten Tomatoes.
So Peacemaker's still pretty high, I'm just saying. When it comes to Nielsen.
Then why didn't you watch season 2 if it was so good?
Because I don't care about Peacemaker.
Exactly. No one does. That's my point. So this is bullshit.
It's probably not that bad.
Go and ask. When you go back to work, at the end of the weekend, when you go to work, I want you to ask people at your work if they've watched Peacemaker and they've actually watched the entirety of Peacemaker.
Actually, my head cook did, and because he was telling me that he was watching.
That's one person out of what, 25? I want you to ask whoever you're. No. Ask the people. Corey, you ever seen Peacemaker? Do you give a fuck?
I frankly could not give a fuck about Peacemaker.
Right. So again, you might like James Gunn, Roman. You might want to defend the Superman movie. I'm not saying it's a bad movie. What I'm telling you is it didn't make enough money. That's a fact. That's why WB went fucking bankrupt, brother.
James Gunn is not. He's not the sole reason.
I'm not saying he's the sole reason. The amount of money they put into that movie was a big factor.
That's fair.
And
however,
that movie did not make enough money. That movie was out of theaters within a month and a half. And already they said it was going to stay the entire rest of the summer into September. It didn't. They put it on streaming services like 2 weeks after it came out, dude. Nobody went to go see it in theaters. It lost money. Sorry to say. It was a big failure for the theaters. Why do you think the theaters aren't re-releasing Superman? They're re-releasing Lord of the Rings and the old Harry Potters and the old Spider-Mans and Star Wars. They're not re-releasing this.
Superman came out in July and it made it to Max in October. So it had like a usual cycle. It had a usual movie theater.
I'm pretty
cycle.
sure it came out the end of July, so it had a 2-month cycle. That's That's a Superman movie, bro. To start off your new DC. It's Superman. It should have been there way longer. For the amount of money they spent on it, they didn't make it back. That's why they left it for so long. How is that a bit fallacious?
I mean, enough money nowadays is because they spend like they don't have a budget. It's a bit fallacious, Roland. What part?
Fallacious? I literally said that. They spent way too much money on it. How's that fallacious? They spent way too much money on it, and it wasn't the best movie. Like, it's not a bad movie, but it's not a great one. I wouldn't tell you that's the best Superman movie I've ever seen. I wouldn't even tell you that it's better than Man of Steel. I have nothing against the actors. I have nothing against the actress. I actually really like Nicholas Hoult in that movie. But the numbers don't lie.
So actually, it made 225 million more than its actual budget.
So it didn't break even then.
It did.
It did not.
It made a profit. Its budget was
wait. You said 250 million over its budget.
Yeah, so its budget was 350 million. It made 625 million.
So it made a small profit.
Yeah. It was technically a success, which is what I said earlier. It was technically a
small one at that. I was going to say, you have to at least double the budget to make a profit. That's what I was thinking. Like, that's what I was going to say. It didn't make a profit because breaking even is when it makes just the same amount. But profit would be doubling it. So it didn't make a profit.
Hold on. Superman.
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't think it. That's what I'm saying. Like it was one of the reasons that they ended up going bankrupt.
James Gunn's Superman is projected to be a major financial success for Warner Brothers.
Here's another thing as well, Roman. You're not thinking about this at all. The promotional material. They had a Super Bowl ad. You know how much money they spent on the Super Bowl ad, brother?
Okay, so,
and again, theaters take 50% of all ticket sales. That's as well, Crimson. Yes. Sorry, I was conflating all this. I explained all this beforehand.
Theaters do not take ticket sales.
Yeah, they do now because they're in detriment. Yes, they do now.
They do now?
Yeah, dude, COVID killed them. Yeah, they do.
Because last time I checked, it was just food.
It's roughly 50%, if I'm not mistaken.
Question for you both.
That's also true. The Super Bowl ad was at least 2 minutes, and that's millions of dollars right there, dude.
Question for you both. Do we trust Forbes here?
I trust Forbes more than I do IMDb and Rotten Tomatoes. Forbes has been pretty solid in the past when it comes to actually what they know. Who's the writer of the article?
Well, Forbes said that Superman made a $100 million profit. Okay. I have to see who the writer of the article is, though. Hold on, let me see.
Yeah, but does that include people getting on the streaming service, or does that actually include helping theaters? Because that matters.
Theatrical run. It made $100 million in profit for its theatrical run, so it made pretty decent money.
$100 million for its theatrical run, but the movie cost $250 million. That's not profit.
Hold on, let's see what Forbes says here.
Yeah, now that I think about that, it
was out for.
Yeah, but that's not.
That doesn't make sense. It still sounds like it's what's it called? It
Still
sounds
hasn't-
like you're still if it's two. You said it was what 200 million, 250 million was the
250
budget,
million was the cost of it was the budget for the movie.
and it only took home 100 million. Yeah, you're 150 million in the hole.
Yeah, that's not profit.
No.
That's the profit that the movie made. It's not actual profit.
Hang on, let him explain.
So that's not what it took home. It took home 616 million. So what
That's
Forbes
terrible.
is saying is that what Forbes is saying is that it made $100 million in total profit because the total budget with ads and everything was 250 million.
You say
and it made 600.
It
Correct.
did not make 616 million.
That's what they're saying.
That has to include like other things. There's no way it took
Theatrical.
home 616 million.
Theatrical. That's what it says.
That doesn't seem right.
I'm gonna tell you what it says, brother.
If it took him 616 million, they probably would have left it in theaters longer.
It was out for 84 days, theatrically.
Yeah, and towards the end of that run, there was like 2 people seeing it. Like, I'm not even kidding. Like, I was watching people go over the actual stats of tickets bought. It was like barely anybody going to see it.
Well, I mean, to be fair, a lot of movies now at
There's
the end
no
of
way
life.
they made 606. I could be totally wrong, but 616 million. I don't remember them making it. Guys, am I wrong? I don't remember that movie making a huge profit like that. That's like insane. But that might still not even be a profit considering all of the shit that they had to do for the marketing because they started marketing it like a year ahead.
It made 600. It made $615.7 million.
Okay. Well, maybe I'm wrong then, but still, you're telling me okay? So the movie was $250 million.
It did make a profit, technically.
Technically, marketing campaign for the 2025 $200 million. So no, it didn't. The movie itself cost $250 plus the $200 million for the marketing campaign, plus the Super Bowl ad.
Hold on.
Plus all the other ads. It didn't. I believe Alpha Omega. He's on top of his shit. I was gonna say there's no way it broke even if you counter all this stuff.
The official budget, including the marketing campaign, was $325 million.
So that can't be possible because the movie was. You said the movie was $250 million.
Plus marketing. I was wrong. Plus marketing, it was $325 million.
So you're telling me
how much did it take home?
So you're telling me the movie's $125 million? No, it wasn't. They did not spend $125 million on that movie. That's not possible. You can't literally do what they did in that movie for that amount of money with the technology they have to use and the actors they have. You'd literally be spending half of that money on the actors and the rest of it on shitty CGI. You know, $100 million movie is fucking hard to make. Literally cannot. It's literally not possible. You just told me that it was $250 million for the movie itself. Then you looked at the marketing and you said movie marketing plus marketing is $325 million. So that's actually $500. No, that's actually $675 million that they spent on it.
No. In total, they spent $325.4 million on it. And they made 615.7. So if we do quick maths,
that actually
like
that really doesn't make sense. I don't remember any of this. Where are you getting this from?
Forbes.
Yeah, but is Forbes including everything else?
It says total.
In that case, if the movie did so well, why is nobody talking about it? And why is Warner Brothers sold?
I mean, company.
Because that's an amazing profit, Roman. That is a fucking extra $400 million profit. That's crazy. Everybody I know saw that movie the first week and then forgot about it by the next one. That sounds conflated to me.
So the first 3 weeks is when it made most of its money. People saw it within the first 3 weeks. It made $500 million in its first 3 weeks, and then after that it got like $115 million during the last parts of its run.
That's not profit then. That's not profit then, because in the first 3 weeks it made back its money, and then it made another 300 something million bucks. That's not profit.
No, it made 500 mil its first 3 weeks, and then it made another 115
million. That's basically its profit back, or that's basically its investment back. We're also not talking about actors. Yeah, that's all of its money back, and then it makes another what? 125 million. Mil? Yeah, that's not profit.
Well, the stats say that it technically is profit, but
technically speaking, sure, they made money, but that's not. It doesn't replace the money they spent on it.
But the point that I'm making is that there could be a modicum of different reasons as to why, WB sold. I don't want them to sell. 225 million. This net figure, which excludes marketing costs, covers the filming and production expenses. Yes, and then the marketing.
So does that also include? Hold on. Does that also include within that actors? Because that would also matter. Like, you also have to think about catering staff, all that other shit. Does that include all of that, or is this just on production alone? Because if it's just on production alone, that changes everything. If it's just on production alone. Because they bring all these different things out when they're telling you the numbers to make it seem different ways for the shareholders. I am a shareholder, believe it or not, of Disney. I know, it's fucking weird, but I am. So I get information from the shit and whatnot. My point being is, sometimes things are not as they seem, especially within Hollywood. We know this. They're not going to begin to tell you all of the money that they're moving around, all the things they're doing. They don't have to.
You mean they're liars, Roland? No, really?
That would be crazy. No, I'm never saying that. No, but the thing is, what they will do, they won't say how much they're bringing in through anything else. Yeah, that usually includes actors' pay, so 400 million in all, 450 million in all. So they didn't make a profit. If they made 616 million back, they didn't make a profit. That's my point. I knew they didn't.
I mean, 616 mil though. That's kind of still
that's replacing the 450 million, Roman.
I'm just saying that's still a fat wad of cash, though. That is still a lot of money.
Roman, if you spent 450 million and somebody gave you 616 million back, you'd only have what? Around 136 million?
I mean, 136 million.
Okay, I got you. No, not 136. That was a random number. I tried to do quick math, but then
116 million. 116 million would sustain me, my children, my grandchildren.
Yeah, not a fucking company, bro. That's why they had to fucking sell.
Warner Brothers had to sell because they're freaking idiots. That's why they had to sell.
But that's not the only reason. Crimson, you posted in the fiction Discord? I don't where?
Yeah.
In what?
You got to go into the main chat.
I went into the main chat.
No, you got to go into. You got to go into the drop chat.
So A to F.
Yeah.
A.
Now, do you give an
anime?
A to the
Wait. Anime? Hold on. Manga is an A.
What do you give the anime?
I don't know. I dig it. Probably like a B minus, like a B.
Did you see my grade?
Yeah, I see your grade.
I gave the